Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Inspired Action, where we dive into the most pressing leadership challenges and hope to inspire you to take a more coach-centered and people-focused approach to leadership. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and it's time to get started with our three amazing guests for today. Welcome back, everybody, to Inspired Action, the Leadership Forecast. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and I'm here with three amazing guests. Before we get started, I'd love to do a quick intro to our three guests today. First and foremost, Karen Baird, bringing over 20 years of experience in marketing and communications and talent development services across industry. She claims her passion on career development, leading change management, and digital transformation initiatives. She serves on the board of ATD as VP of Marketing and Communications for the Nashville chapter and the Director of Programs for the San Antonio chapter. Kyle Pung, having earned his MBA with an emphasis in strategic management from Davenport University, Kyle experienced outside sales and experienced outside sales rep and account manager with a history of exceeding goals, currently serving as account manager with Pluene Service Company up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Desiree Perez helps high impact leaders and organizations cut through complexity, align around what matters, and lead with both precision and heart. Whether you're scaling, reinventing, or navigating change, she will bring structure and insight in a strategic partnership to help you take it to the next level. Currently serving as VP of Business Operations and Customer Experience at Coactive Training Institute, she is passionate about bold, clear, and human-centered leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here today. But here's what I'm curious about. How do you know the difference between needing to push through versus needing to step back? I mean, you guys are all high performers. Kyle probably a little earlier in his career than the rest of us, but man, how do we know? How do we determine that we need to push more, or this is when I really need to step away?
It's the human condition, right? It's the human experience to be tired, to be lacking motivation, to struggle, right? To feel overwhelmed, and how much value there is to acknowledge that and to accept it. So I think part of that is to answer your question, Kyle. It's having that self-awareness of like, okay, for me, it's a prioritization thing. So I'll be honest, as I'm putting together this presentation, I've fought more against myself than anything else. There's time, there's prioritization. I'm battling my imposter monster every single day that I'm doing this. I'm like, this is taking too much time. Like, can I just get past this part of the process? It's so exhausting. And I'm having to constantly think about, okay, I have limited time, right? Like I have so much time to do this whole thing. I have to simplify. Maybe I have to make a choice. Okay, I wanted to do this complicated thing. Nope, I don't have time for that. And to be okay with accepting that I might have to make that change. The other thing I was thinking about is, I'm someone, it sounds like we're all very high performer, very driven. To be more conscious about when I'm saying no and when I'm saying yes to something, because if I say yes to everything, I'm human. I'm not going to have the capacity to do everything to the degree that I would like to do. So I think it's again going back to that self-awareness piece, but it's kind of reassessing, prioritizing what is it you actually want to accomplish and what do you have time to do, and you might have to let some things go.
Yeah, just yesterday, somebody said to me, sometimes you got to say no to good things so you can say yes to great things. And I thought that was really, really on point. Cool. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah,
Kyle or Desiree, go for it.
I think I would add to that. For me, my very personal experience in this is that if I feel myself being unmotivated over several days or in several instances around the same thing, then for me that's the trigger point where I gotta go like, okay, first off, I gotta rest. Secondly, I gotta look at what's happening here. Why am I unmotivated by this? Is it out of alignment? Is it not really what I'm interested in doing? I get in work, we always do things that we're not fully interested in doing. That's part of the thing. But if that becomes a larger theme, then we have to sort of look at that, take some time and look at that. And then other times where I know like there's like an important deliverable or I just got to push through and I got to deliver that and I will do that. And then after that, I will reward myself with the ice cream that Kyle doesn't have or rest. So yeah, so that's my way of sort of assessing what's the right thing for me to do.
Yeah, and Desiree, I think the way you frame that is that puts it in more of a choice perspective, right? I mean, if something's important to us and we're prioritizing it and it's 8 o'clock at night, but we know that's not our maybe our prime working time, but it's important to finish, then you make the choice. Say, you know what, I'm going to lean into this a little bit. And sometimes that alone, just by giving yourself permission to lean into it instead of it being a have to, is enough spark to drive you that next 30 minutes, hour, whatever it's going to take.
Yeah, it goes back around the framing, the perspective that we created for ourselves, right? The have to, the should, the I can't say no, all of those things are restrictive to ourselves. So what's the choice that I have? Because we always have a choice, whether we believe we do or don't. Sometimes inaction is also a choice that we're making.
Yeah, so true. I love it. Kyle, what would you add, man?
Honestly, I don't think there's much I could add to both of those. And really for me, it's just been from experience. When I get to that point, I feel like I've hit the wall in the past before with saying yes to so many things that it just became so overwhelming to do anything with that because there's just so many balls in the air. But really saying no and allowing the opportunity for you to have the opportunity to say yes to other better things has been a huge shift in my perspective. I was always a say yes to everything. And then what Desiree said, that mindset shift as well of, prioritizing have to, should, and, what is the outcome if I don't do this? I don't have a good presentation tomorrow for a client, or, is that acceptable? Probably not. So there are choices, but being able to prioritize and just really knowing, do I just need to give myself some like deep rest, a quick meditation? What can I do to recharge to push through this?
Yeah, I love that. Such good input. And you said exactly what I was thinking, Kyle. It's kind of funny. People use the analogy of a cell phone, right? You don't recharge a cell phone by scrolling faster or pushing the buttons harder, right? We got to plug in. And that's what people need. We need to plug into rest. We need to plug into our awareness around what our body or our mind needs in the moment so that we can prepare to go back to work, right? Thank you guys so much. That's all the time we have for now. Be sure to join us every Thursday on LinkedIn for a new edition of Inspired Action, and anytime on our YouTube channel here at MindFit Coaching. Have a great day. That's a wrap for another edition of Inspired Action, the Leadership Forecast. We're so grateful for our guests today and the impact they're making with the work they do. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel to watch the longer version of this episode, and be sure to like, comment, connect with, and follow me and each of our guests. You'll find all of our links in the caption of this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in every Thursday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern for new episodes.